what's interesting about this play, for me personally, is how I felt connected to Walter in a way. When I first moved to Chicago, I moved here to start acting. Me and my girlfriend kind of split up for a while. She stayed in Florida. I came up here to Chicago to see what it was like. My sister has a circus school here in Chicago, and so I knew I could teach a little bit while I, tried to see, look into acting. And finally we got married, and my wife moved up here, and she knew that, I moved up here to get away from the circus and to try something new. And when I started pursuing an acting career, as you know, in the theater, you don't often, make a lot of money. And so I just was working hard at this. I knew there was something that I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to create something, but I didn't know what. And here my wife was working at Ann Sather for 6 years, and she's an amazing performer. And she was starting to resent me in a way for me pushing after this dream that I had. And here she was waiting table. She's a Walenda, and she's serving coffee to these grumpy old people in Andersonville. And I was so blinded to go towards this goal I had that I started losing track of what was important. And when I did start to realize it, luckily, Looking Glass produced the show that I wanted to produce, Hephaestus, a Greek mythology circus tale, and she got to be the star in the show, and it was like, see, it all worked out. But it was really when I read the script, it was the first thing I thought of. Was like, unfortunately, I kind of was like Walter in a little bit of a way, except it worked out a little bit better for me in the end, and also I feel. I understand that drive as being an artist, growing up in the circus, and even being a high wire walker. And Liana's great-grandfather, Carl Walenda, had this famous quote that has been in some movies, and it is, "Life is on the wire, the rest is just waiting," which is kind of a phenomenal quote when you think about this play, because for Walter, that's exactly what it was. Life for him was that moment. The rest of his life was waiting. And so I told Bridget, our playwright, that, and it was kind of cool. We had this meeting before we started rehearsals, and I had said that. And when I said it, I gave myself goosebumps, because I was like, that quote has never been so meaningful in my life until this play was happening. And I was like, oh my God, I get that quote more than ever now. Life is on the wire, the rest is just waiting.